Good afternoon. My name is Zyan Williams, and my partner is Seth Cowart. We are doing an interview of.
Dr. Stephanie Burrs.
Um, First of all, we just want to know who you are, what department you work for, how you got here, certain things like that.
Okay, well, my name is Stephanie Burrs. I am a professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Prairie View A&M University. How did I get here?
Where'd you get here from, and how long have you been here?
Okay, so I've been with Prairie View A&M University for 4 years. I started in August of 2015. Earlier that month, I graduated from the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida, with a PhD in biological engineering. I had a different type of career path because when I finished my bachelor's and my master's degree at Florida A&M University in 1996 and 98, I went to industry first before going to pursue a PhD. So I spent 14 years in the aerospace industry before deciding to go back to school in 2011 to pursue a PhD in biological engineering. So that was a part of my master plan because I wanted to be a professor that had industry experience, so that's what I did. I spent time in industry to strengthen my ability to teach the theory as it relates to the applications of engineering.
Okay. Currently, what is your specialization or research area that you are in?
Okay, well, my research area is biosensors and biotechnology with an emphasis on bio-nanomaterials and composites that involve nanomaterials, including nanometals, nanobiological materials, as well as different polymers that can be fabricated into nano-sized particles. I specifically like to design biosensors, but also have a focus on biomaterials that can be used for biomedical applications.
Okay. Well, what motivated you to become an engineer?
Good question. As a kid, I wanted to be everything in the world. I did a little time in theater. I was president speech and debate, thought I would be a lawyer. I thought I'd be a surgeon, spent some time working at UCLA when I was in high school, considering the medical path. I chose engineering at the end because I was really good at math, my SAT scores were high, and engineering seemed to be a really fun place to make things and create things and be innovative. And so I majored in engineering. Actually, I was a civil engineering major my first semester of school, but I changed to mechanical engineering because I decided mechanical engineering was more interesting with space and automotive and machines of all sorts.
Okay. What is your aspiration or like the highest goal that you want your students to achieve as you go through your educational field? Or
So as a instructor, as a teacher, I honestly look at each student as a potential world changer, right? I want my students to understand their ability to have an impact on the world, and by dedicated study and self-development, they can figure out what area of life they want to have a positive impact on. I think that engineers have a really big opportunity to have a positive impact on the world, creating technology that can save lives, that can save money, that can make people's lives more comfortable, more safe, more healthy. And so my greatest aspiration for my students is for them to know their power and to harness it over the course of their career.
okay. Does your scientific training impact the way that you see the world, and if so, how so?
My scientific training perhaps impacts the way I see the world because I look at everything as a system. People, our bodies are systems, our communities are systems that have different dynamics, different input, different output, different, different ways that you can analyze the way things work and how things happen. I tend to look at things from an analytical perspective and try to turn everything into a little bit of a formula to try to understand things. I think if people were to break things down to their parts, we could probably solve more problems. We could solve complex social problems if we were to look at our communities and our families as systems that have a variety of, you know, interacting parts that, you know, we can look at each part and figure out, well, how do we fix this part so that it'll have a, you know, we can change the dynamic of the whole system. So yeah, I tend to think about that a lot.
Okay. What is your ideal dream as an engineer, or what is like the big picture idea that you want to maybe achieve going forward in your career?
Well, I have a very special interest in education. I believe that especially underrepresented minorities. I believe that there is an opportunity for us to harness the minds and the attention of young people so that they will choose STEM fields, that they will choose to challenge themselves and do and pursue educational endeavors that are, they may be a little more difficult, but they're more rewarding at the end, to have access to, you know, the opportunity to be an engineer, to be a scientist. And so my biggest aspiration is to maybe later in life when I retire, I can say that I had an impact, a major impact on education, especially at HBCUs and in universities and schools that focus on underrepresented minority education.
So I'm guessing that would mean you'd probably stay at an HBCU or try to stay in the realm of being in there.
Well, for now, I think that the highest concentration of underrepresented minorities is in an HBCU. And that if we're going to understand how to do a better job at preparing underrepresented minorities for fields like STEM fields where, you know, we don't tend to go into those fields, then this is the best place to figure out those challenges and to, you know, implement any new ideas we have to see if they'll work, right? So, but we have lots of minority students that are at other schools. And so I always collaborate with other universities and make sure that we aren't only focusing on HBCU students.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to say as far as getting it out to the students or faculty or anybody else that might see this video?
I think that self-development and educational pursuit is one of the most important things we could ever do for ourselves, our families, and our community. And so I hope that everywhere I go from an academic perspective, I can make a positive impact on other people embracing that philosophy for lifelong learning and solving our own problems. I think that sometimes our problems in our classrooms are too theoretical. We should start solving the problems that we see at our homes and with our family members. And as we drive down the road, I need to solve the problems that are affecting my neighborhood and the people that I live near. So that's how I would like to impact students and faculty.
All right. Well, that is it for my questions. I appreciate you very much for answering. Once again, this has been Dr. Burrs, and hope to have you have a wonderful year. A great time. Thank you again.